there. Oh, no, thank you. No more thank you. No thank you at all. Just a second. Okay. All right, everybody. All right, everybody. All right, Jane. Okay. So, Indian-san. So you are in India. Are you in India? Where is it?
No, Master Jinen. I'm in US currently.
Oh, so kind.
Yes, I need to meet Sensei someday. He's in Cleveland. I need to come to Cleveland someday.
No, someday, but right now.
Right now. Right.
Okay, so I would like to just mention about what different between thinking and truth or fact, reality. You see, what people think of, what people think of about thinking or thought is thinking or thought is true. Thinking and thought is true. This is a completely misunderstanding. This is a completely misunderstanding. As I just mentioned about it. You see, the reason why the thinking or thought come out is thinking and thought just come out in your mind without any reason, Simply just come out, simply just coming up in your mind without any reason, What people just thinking about thinking or thought is there is a kind of a substance. This is there is a kind of substance called human being or called self. Then this substance, this human being, this kind of human, just think of something. Then thinking or thought come out. This is totally misunderstanding. See? As I just mentioned about before, the thinking and thought just coming out, just simply just coming out without any reason, So why we have to just take care of the thinking or thought coming out without any reason? You see, just simply throw them away as there. This is enough. This is enough. This is a main point. This is a main point. This is a very important point as far as Zazen. As far as this is a main point. If you really realize who you are, this is the most important point for us to do as far as Zazen. Then today's text is where is it? Number 14. Number 40. It says, in the states of now, there are no true nows. Sound little complicated, but very simple. See, when you recognize now, it's not, it is not now. It's a path. It's a path. Betty-san, all right? All right. See, when you say now, it's a path. See, when you think about now, think about now. See, you just become now itself. So you just become now itself. That's the reason you never be able to recognize now, because you just become now itself. Now itself. So that see, itself never just be recognized now. See, but it's also, it's not necessary to recognize now. See, this is a now. See, when you face this, you just become dead. See, you just become dead. See, then you just say, oh, this is dead. This is not a true. See, when you face this is a reality. When you face this, you just become dead. This is the reality. Then you just recognize this, and then, as I just already just mentioned about this one and this one, they completely separate or divided by your thinking. When you recognize this, so the same thing, you recognize this one, this one. Before you recognize this one never exists at all. You see, because you recognize this one just come out. Otherwise, you never recognize this one. See, this is a kind of a trick. It's just come out so quickly. So you never just recognize this kind of the activity. See? Before you just face this, you just become this. There is no separation. There is no separation between this and this. See, then you recognize kind of the functional recognition just come out. Then you recognize this. Then at the same time, almost the same time you recognize this. Then there is a kind of a separation between this and this. This is not a true. This is not a true. See, what the reality, what the truth is, when you face this, you just become this. See? No separation. This is a one. This is our true self. This is our true self. You see, the kind of action, so quickly just happen, so that people just totally deceived by this the action or activity. See, so quickly happen, so swiftly just happen. So what Jinen Roshi just made teaching us is when you stand, you stand. When you lie down, you lie down. It's very simple. No doubt at all. See, however, you cannot do the same thing at the same time. See, we cannot do two things at the same time. Always one. We can just act. So one thing, at a time. One thing, only one thing. You see, but the thing is the action or activity is quick. It's always quickly just happen. Even the activity or action that's happened quickly, always one thing, one time, one thing is one time. See, but the thing is, as far as the thinking of thought, see, there are two or three or four things at the same time happen. You see, two or three or four things just happening at the same time. This is not a truth. See, our true activity, our true action is one thing, one time. One thing, one time. So that we never be confused because one thing, one time. However, as far as thinking about thought, two or three or four things just happen at the same time. So that the people just confused. People just deceive. You see, this is the thing. We should not be deceived by thinking also. When you stand, you stand. When you lie down, you lie down. You cannot do the same thing at the same time. Same thing is the two or three things at the same time. We cannot do it. One thing at one time. That's reason. We are activity. We are activity or action is a complete. It's a topic. One time, one thing's one time. That's the reason. Our activity or actions never confused. Never confused. There is no contradiction at all. See, that's the reason. We never be confused. So there is no contradiction at all. See? But as I just mentioned, as far as thinking or thought, at the same time, two or three or four things just come out. So that's we might be just confused by the thinking. What so there is a kind of a contradiction just happening because you see at the same time two or three or four things just happen as far as thinking of. So that is not true. Our true action is one time, one thing at one time. See? Never be confused. Never be confused at all. Very, very, very good. Very good. Okay. So you have affirmed and used denied. It is completely consistent. See, when you say I affirm, I affirm it. See, when I say I affirm it, so you simply become what I say. Then, see, when I say I deny it, you simply just what I say. Definitely, nothing left at all. See, our activity or action never concerned with word or letters. You see, word or letters. Or in other words, our the true action or activity never concerned with the concept or thinking or so. When I say I affirm it, you just become what I say, without nothing left, without the thing left. And then when I say I deny it, I deny it. Then you just become what I say. See, so that nothing left at all. So that, see, for this one is not what people thinking about the human body. This is a Dharma body. See, for this one, see, affirm or deny. Nothing goes on. Doesn't mean anything. See, word or letters doesn't mean anything. See, when I say I affirm it, you just become what I say. That's it. I denied it. It just become what I say. That's it. Nothing left at all. That's much complete. Nothing left. Nothing left. So that there is nothing. There is nothing to just think about in concept or in or thinking of, because nothing left. So that the people just think, that is not good. That is not good. Because people just worried about it. See, if people just understand what I say, so if other people, unless people just understand what I say, people just people feel very what I say, they feel unease. But see, this Dharma body, this body, tremendous. You see, you don't know much about it, how tremendous this one is. You see, for this one, you see, as I just mentioned about, even this inconstant, you don't understand what I said. But this one completely, what I say, completely accept what I say. It means, in another word, this one, even this one does don't know much about the meaning of the affirm or deny. But this one, without the understand, this will completely become affirm or deny. Then totally just finish. That is enough to that's what this one is. Even the thinking of thought or concept is it's hardly understand what this one is. This is its activity, or this the action is another activity, or the action of a human being. This is a universal activity or action, because universal activity or action. That's the reason the Zen Master Dogen just the teacher. When I just find out what the true ourselves is, you see, what the true ourselves is. Our true self is complete in the universe. Complete in the universe. This is our true truth. And this is our true self. Okay. It's a very hard, hard to understand in a concept or thinking. That's the reason the Shakyamuni Buddha or the patriarchs just recommend us to do zazen. You see, far beyond. Our true self is far beyond thinking or concept. See, That's the reason we should do that zazen. Okay, you have, oh no, this one. The way of thinking is to see things side by side. Therefore, contradiction arise. The fact is there are no contradiction. This is the same thing. When I say this, when I say this, see, only this. See, only this just come out. This thing just arrive. See, nothing anymore. Nothing anymore. But as far as things, when I see this, at the same time, a kind of the things just happen. See, people just try to compare this one, the things just come up in your mind. You see, and then people just try to compare which is better. You see, always kind of comparisons, the matter just happen as far as thinking of thought. But that is not true. But this is cause us trouble. The truth or the reality is only this, nothing anymore. So that only this one, no trouble at all, no comparison at all. But as far as thinking, as I just mentioned, there are 2 or 3 things just happen when you see there. Then you just try to just compare this or that. That's cause you trouble. Okay. You say I should do that and become mindless. You say I should do that and become mindless. You set a goal to become mindless and then go for it. It is as if you understand each other by the word mindlessness. See, mindlessness. What mindless? What mindless? What mindless is? When I see mindless. When you see, or when I say mindless, you just mindless. This is mindless. You see, when I say mindless, you just become what I say. This is mindlessness. So why you have to do, or why you have to do, or you should do the mind, you should be mindless by doing zazen. Always our action, our action or activity is always mindless, always mindless. Mindless, in another word, is non-self. What people thinking about the self never exists. See? Then we just always acting. We are always acting without self, without mindless, without mind. You see, this one we have to just realize. Otherwise, you never be able to satisfy with present your truth for yourself. Once you just recognize, once you realize that, you totally satisfied. You fully just satisfied with yourself. Okay, if you understand each other by the word mindlessness, see? As well as as far as the people are concerned, see, the people are just living in the thinking of what. So, see, So that when I say mindless, people just understand, mindless, that is a mindless. People understand it. People understand. But understanding is not a truth. See, we don't need to understand it at all. See, this is the universal activity or action. See, understanding is still within the human being's action or activity. See, our action, as I just mentioned, our action or activity is far beyond the thinking or concept. That is a universal activity or action. It's very hard to understand. Sorry to say, but once you just realize it, you'll be able to just understand what I just said. See, without any doubt. So that I would like to just recommend you to do that until you just totally understand what I say, what the Shakyamuni Buddha say, how they teach. Otherwise, you cannot do it. Okay, there is. You start sitting without talking, listening to what no mind looks like. So this is a very important aspect as far as the zazen. See, when you just do zazen, or if you just realize who you are, just ask what a true ourself is. You see, how we have to do a zazen. Otherwise, you are totally you are totally just do the zazen with the wrong way. See? Once you have to just realize what true self is and how how to do zazen, even in a concept. Otherwise, you have a kind of confusion how to do it, what the truth says. So just ask what it is, what it is. Then you just become kind of the way to just go, the way to do what you have to do. See, until this much, you just listen to what the teacher say, and then when you just ask what it is, what it is. This kind of things is a very important thing to do, does it? In order to just realize who you are. There is a fundamental mistake that needs to be addressed from the very beginning. See, what people just doing is that people just do that within the thinking. So, see, our truth, the existence is far beyond the thinking or thought. Thinking so that see, you just do a zazen within the thinking also. You'll never be able to just realize who you are. See? Our true self is far beyond the thinking or thought. See, so that just ask what the true self is, how to do zazen. See, then you just become. You'll be able to focus what you have to do as far as zazen. This is a very important thing. Well, where is it? Yeah. If you give people a corn and let them engage in logic chopping, they will gradually come. See? koan, as far as koan, one is enough. One is enough. See, koan. See, what the people just doing is, oh, I just passed 100 or 200 more. This is another koan. This one is enough. You see, well, what's koan is when you just face dead. See, you simply become dead. See, this experience is a koan. You see, once you just become this, you see, then you'll be able to just figure out any koan, any of koan. See, one is enough. Once you just become dead, once you just become what you faced, then you'll be able to just figure out any kind of koan. See, one is enough. Once you just become what you are facing right now, this is koan. Okay, if you take all that way, love them and leave them to work on their own as a function of the six organ, day and night all hours of the day, they will become unbearable. But this is, you see, the people just want to do these things. See, people put a kind of a satori or the realization or liberalization, put the things in front of you. The people try to do what you put in front of you. This is not a good reason. This is not a true zazen. You see, simply as I just mentioned, you simply become this. You simply become this. This is enough. But it's very hard to do. Although when you face it, you simply just become dead. See, that is the first. Then you recognize this. Then there is, as I just mentioned, there is a kind of separation between this and dead. This is not true. See, you simply just, when you just see this, you simply become dead. This is our true self. You see, no separation between this and that. See, so what zazen is, the more you just throw, the more you let go the thinking or thoughts of as the more you just become dead. This is that. You see, you just become this. You see, this zazen. Would like to recommend you to do this zazen. You see, so the more, whatever just thinking or just come out in your mind, simply let's go. Then all was there. Then you just become it. Eventually, there is no separation between this and this. That is Shakyamuni Buddha's liberation and realization. That is the end light. No separation between this and this. You see, this experience, once you have to just experience, then you are totally satisfied with yourself. Right. Their mind begin to move, wondering if this is the right things to do. More as far as the concept, if you just say this is all right, but sooner or later, is it all right? This kind of thing. You know, be able to just you will be able to have a confidence as far as the concept was concerned. See, kind of, you see, Jinen Roshi just always mentioned, you are always with other person in your mind. See, that's the reason this person always just try you to to be confused. See, always say something like, you see, okay, when you say, okay, this is all right, as I said, this is all right. But this person just said, this is very all right. You feel like something uneasy. Always. But as I just mentioned, once you just become this, see, if there is no separation between this and this, so this kind of person completely disappears. See, so congratulations, nothing trouble at all. Okay. Zazen is not about organizing yourself with your own way of thinking. It is about putting aside all your way of thinking that you try to organize. See? So that's the reason what Zazen is. Whatever the thinking or thought just come out in your mind. Thinking or thoughts just come out in your mind without any reason. So you don't need to care of them at all. Just simply throw them away as they listen. You see? Then the more you just do, the more you just become dead. What you just become what you facing. The event, there is no separation between this and that. This is one. This is a true ourself. This is true ourself. Okay. This is a public people without practice. The most important things don't care much about whatever just thinking of what sort of come out in your mind. Simply let's go. Then now this is the main point. This is the most important point as far as study. The practice is another practice of changing oneself through one's own way of thinking. Yes. What it is Zen Master Dogen says or teaching us. See, our activity or action, our daily life is perfect, complete. See, there is nothing trouble, nothing question, nothing problem at all. See, our daily life. And that's the reason. We don't need to do anything. We don't need to do anything. See, this is the most important thing. What people just try to do is always try to do something, try to do something, you see. But it's not necessary. Our activity, our daily life is perfect. See, that's things that Dogen, the Zen Master Dogen just want us to believe, want us to believe, so that, see, that's the reason, so that we don't need to do anything, so that whatever just thinking will come out in your mind, Just let's go then. Let's go then of as it is. We don't need to take care of it. We don't need to take care of it. See, simply just let's go then of as it is. Because our daily life, our activity action is perfect. You see, we don't need to do anything. We don't need to do anything. This is a very important thing. It cannot be it cannot be replaced to read down. So always, see, the things just come out, and then the things come out itself, definite. Nothing related. The things nothing related at all. Things just finished by thing. We'll be able to understand. See, when I say, as I just mentioned, when I say the things completely finished by itself, when I say so, you just become what I say, the finish. This is the thing. You see, when I say this, you just become what I say. Nothing left. Nothing left. This is the thing. You see, it cannot be replaced to read down. The real thing is the encounter of the present or not. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? The practice is not a practice of changing one's yes. Listen, the practice is not a practice of changing oneself through one's own way of thinking. The thing is the thing is always finished by itself. No, nothing relation at all. What people think is because this, then these things happen. This is a total real thing. This is another thing to cause and effect, cause and result the difference. But our true activity, our true actions, cause itself is just result itself. There is no difference between cause and the result. It is the same. Cause and the result is the same. As far as thinking of as other people just thinking about because of this cause, because of this, then this result just happened. This is totally misunderstanding. This kind of action activity never happened right now, right? That's just happened in your mind. That's just happened in your mind, only in your mind. That is not a truth. That is not a truth. Never be deceived. It cannot be replaced or redone. The real thing is the encounter of the present moment, once in a lifetime. So only once. Never have the same thing. Never happen. Only one. You see, as I just mentioned. See, 10,000 change, 10,000 changing in a second. See, 10,000 changing in a second. See, so that same thing never happened. Also just as thinking also never follow this switch quick changing. See, this is our true self. 10,000 changing in a second. This is our true self. You see? Do not search. Do not search for what you hear or what you see. The facts of the present are all disconnected from the object. You see? Disconnected the object. Because when you see this, when you see this, you just simply become what you faced. Disconnected. You just become itself. You just simply become itself. See? Nothing concerns connect or disconnect. So simply, you just become itself, one. And this is our true self. This is our true. Right. So, although Betty-san, although it's easy to say, but very hard to do. See? But this is the most important thing. This is the most important things for us to do, because we are exactly we ourselves, no doubt at all. We are exactly we are ourselves, no doubt. Unfortunately, although we are exactly ourselves, we don't know much about who we are. See, this is the most miserable. This is the most miserable thing. Mm-hmm. See, the same thing. When you face this, you just become this. This is our true self. See, all day long, we are just acting this way. Although we just acting this way, we don't know much about what it is. See, that's the reason. That's the reason we have to do the thousand. See, the thing is, whatever just thinking or sort of come out in your mind, simply let's go then. All about the, you see, this is very hard to do. I know much about, but this is the most valuable things for us to do. Then you'll be able to encounter to yourself, to our true self. Our true self is entirely different from what we are thinking about self. That's the reason. Chakamani Buddha or the patriarchs recommend us to do so. This is the most important. Does it? So constantly, continue. Does it? Even you just have a kind of a question or doubt, but do it. Do it. Whatever you just have a question or a question, just simply send an email or whatever, call me. You see? Yeah. This kind of religion, just or perseverance, just bring you what just Shakyamuni Buddha or Patriarchs just realize. Only this one, the continue on constantly. You just do something. Okay. Hi, thank you so much. You are exactly, no doubt. What's your name? Name is how do you pronounce it?
Is that
your
me? Neil?
Yes.
Neil Ringer. Well, I'm near Byron Bay.
So Byron Bay.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, you came to Byron Bay, but I wasn't here. And then I went to Japan and you weren't there. We communicated by email 2 years
yes,
ago.
I remember. I remember. Congratulations. Congratulations. Eventually, we'll be able to.
I hope so. Next year,
Next year.
come to
Yeah.
Japan if we can.
Yeah. Would you come to Japan?
Yes.
Please. Anytime, all the kind of situation just happening in the world, but sooner or later, sooner or later, 大丈夫。はい。We'll be waiting.
ございます。
We'll be waiting for you. はい。で、
よろしくお願いします。
兄さん、we'll be waiting for you. はい。
Thank you.
Betty san, we'll be waiting for you. Thank you so much. Okay. See you next month. Or this this time we have 4 days in a session as a session. So once now the English term in this the session. So next month we'll be able to see you. Okay. See you next month. ありがとうございました。はい。